We welcome you to Thunder Valley out here in Eastern Tennessee for the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series 2018 season, as this is the 10th race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We have 32 cars lined up on the grid, and not only are there drivers lined up on the front stretch, but we have some drivers lined up on the back stretch, as this is a short track. And believe it or not, this is the first stop of the season here at a track under a mile long, as we have Bristol, Richmond, and Martinsville, and this is the first stop. And these drivers are going to go round and round around this half mile full of speed. And if you love racing, Bristol is surely the place to be, as this place has been around since 1961, and there's been a lot of fun, exciting moments, and we have the banking and the high banking. It's going to provide some interesting racing. It has for the last couple of years. We've seen some tempers flare here at the short track. We've seen some fantastic finishes, the bump and run, and certainly Bristol Motor Speedway should provide more of those exciting races today. And not only with that aspect, but we only have 2 races until the playoff cutoff, and we have a lot of drivers that are hoping to get themselves into the playoffs via a win or by pointing their way. And we're going to look at some of the drivers to watch. Chase Elliott, he had a great car last weekend. He led some laps. He almost got the win and got a decent top 10. He starts on pole today in that Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. He is hoping to get it done. Alongside his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, starts in the 4th position. He is looking decent points-wise. He's hoping to keep that up today. We have Paul Menard. He sits 5 points over Austin Dillon for the final spot in the playoffs, and he starts 5th today. And then we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He starts in the 13th position, but he's had some great runs at Bristol. Who knows? Maybe he can get that win and upset and crash the playoff field. We have Eric Almirola. He is 15th on the grid. He is 9 points ahead of Paul Menard, thus putting him 14 points ahead of the cutoff. He starts 9th today, looking to stay there. And then we have Alex Bowman. He has declined, but yet he's 6 points behind Paul Menard. And you never know, he could have a great day today, but he has some work to do starting 18th, as you can see. Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney are looking really well, but after that, it's a dogfight to see who is going to get the last 3 spots. And now it's time for your Mountain Dew Baja Blast starting lineup for the Bass Pro Shops night race. On the pole is Chase Elliott alongside Kyle Busch. He is the points leader, and he has a mere 7 points over Kevin Harvick for the regular season championship. Eric Jones and Jimmy Johnson, who has his best starting spot of the season. Paul Menard alongside Kyle Larson in row 3. Kyle Larson has been close a couple times to winning at the Last Great Colosseum. Let's see if he can do it today. Ryan Blaney alongside Brad Keselowski, as Ryan Blaney still looking for his first win of the season, as he's been close a lot of times. And then we have Eric Almirola and Kevin Harvick, 2 Stewart-Haas Racing teammates, round out the top 10. And then after that, we have Denny Hamlin and Ryan Newman. Denny Hamlin's looking good after that win at Watkins Glen. And Ryan Newman, he probably needs to get a win. 24th in points. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Austin Dillon, 2 drivers outside the cutoff, looking for a great day at Bristol. Clint Boyer and David Reagan. As David Reagan surprised a lot of people this season, maybe he can do that and upset the field today. Daniel Suarez and Alex Bowman. Daniel Suarez, he slumped off a little bit, and he could be driving for his ride next year, as he is not guaranteed to come back at Joe Gibbs Racing. William Byron and Martin Truex Jr. And then we have Trevor Bayne, as he was just released from that 6 car. He will not return next season, and alongside Ty Dillon. 2 JTG Doherty Racing teammates, AJ Allmendinger and Chris Buescher. And then we have Michael McDowell and Bubba Wallace, as Bubba Wallace is at the Bristol night race, the first Bristol race of his in his short career. And then we have Casey Kane and Greg Gaulding alongside. And then back here we have Matt Benedetto, and we have 3 drivers that did not post a qualifying lap. They did not pass inspection. Joey Logano is one of them, and rounding it out, Kurt Busch and Jamie McMurray. They did not get onto the grid in time. Thus, they will be starting at the back, and that is usually the danger zone here at Bristol. And now it's time for your KFC honorary starter, and today's honorary starter is Corey Markham. And now it's time to send these drivers on a 20-lap journey, as here in Thunder Valley, the mountains are starting to rumble here in Eastern Tennessee. The green flag is waving, and let's go short track racing here in Bristol. A nice clean start as Chase Elliott takes the lead, and as you can see, a lot of drivers are sticking to that inside line. The outside hasn't formed yet as Alex Bowman is trying that back in the pack, but it has not formed yet. Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Larson are on that outside as they are trying to get a run. Now at 3 out of 20, Ryan Blaney 3 wide at Bristol, and he makes the pass. Move Ryan Blaney up as Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman in the back of the pack, trying to get the most out of that banking. As Kyle Larson, look, he's all the way up to the wall. He's going to get a great run here and take third away from Jimmy Johnson. Meanwhile, in the back of the pack, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Jamie McMurray. We talked about them earlier in the show. They are battling. Trevor Bayne and AJ Allmendinger are 3 wide in the back of the pack as these drivers riding that outside line. And now lap 5, Chase Elliott in command. And we have a car around. David Reagan spinning. Truex Jr. and Chris Buescher collide. And we have a big 3-car crash. Chris Buescher is piled up against the wall. David Reagan and Martin Truex Jr. are absolute junk here at the short track. In the first fourth of the race, their days are done, as we're going to check this out again. Yeah, it looks like David Reagan just spins out. I don't know if he cut a tire or not, but it seems like David Reagan he spun around. Martin Truex Jr. had nowhere to go, as well as Chris Buescher. And so that's going to end David Reagan's day. Maybe I jinxed him a little bit, as he has had a great season, but today is not the day for him. Martin Truex Jr. as well. 2 DNFs in a row, 3 crashes in a row. He needs to turn that around, and quickly, as the playoffs are coming up. And then Chris Buescher goes back behind the wall. And now we're going to restart lap 7 out of 10. We have 4 laps to go until the halfway bonus. Chase Elliott chooses the outside line as the outside was starting to form. And we're going to see if that prevails. But Kyle Busch on the restart, he makes contact with Chase Elliott. And now Kyle Busch takes the lead, but Chase Elliott bumps him out of the way. And now Chase Elliott on that inside line is going to take the lead back. Lap 8 out of 10, Kyle Larson's going to dive it in on the inside. He gives him the bump. Kyle Larson now in command. Kyle Larson, he loves Bristol. And wow, we have 4 wide in the back of the pack. Joey Logano being very aggressive, as well as Kurt Busch. Now, lap 9 out of 20. The drivers are starting to migrate to that outside. Eric Jones fights Kevin Harvick, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. trying to get in line. And now we have a cool camera angle here. Ryan Blaney trying to cut in front of Kyle Busch. Try to get on that outside, but Kyle Larson is trying to hold off Chase Elliott. And Chase Elliott, he wants to get his first halfway bonus of the season. And now Chase Elliott is going to move the inside. He's going to try to move up the racetrack. Yes, he does, but Kyle Larson's going to make the slide job. They're making contact, beating and banging. Ryan Blaney tries to get by, but Chase Elliott wins the halfway bonus. And now Ryan Blaney's challenging for the lead. He's going to do it, but Chase Elliott now down, back on that inside, fighting hard for the lead. Some great racing here at Bristol, but Ryan Blaney, he's going to get onto that outside and take the lead. Lap 12 out of 20. You will notice Joey Logano now in the 15th position. He is a man on the mission today, and he has a really fast race car. You never know, he could have a say in this race by the end. Now lap 13 out of 20. Kyle Busch still in second. When will he make his move? As Kyle Larson and Jimmy Johnson make contact, and Kyle Larson's going to take the 4th position away, and now Kevin Harvick is battling Jimmy Johnson. They are side by side, but Kevin Harvick's going to duck in front of him on the outside, and Kevin Harvick cracks the top 5. Lap 14 out of 20. Kyle Larson on the inside is going to slide in front of Chase Elliott, and now into third. Now Kyle Busch challenging for the lead. He's going to go for it. Kyle Busch is the new leader here at Bristol and takes it away from Ryan Blaney. Lap 15 out of 20. Now Kyle Larson trying to make a move on Ryan Blaney. Some phenomenal racing here as they are flying by. Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney still side by side. Now Larson's going to give him a little nudge. Ryan Blaney gets a piece of the wall, and now Kevin Harvick's all over the back bumper, and he's going to turn him. Ryan Blaney spinning, sliding, and he saves it from further contact. But Ryan Blaney, are you kidding me? Once again, Ryan Blaney has bad luck here in the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series. We're going to watch this again. Some hard racing. Kyle Larson gives him a little nudge, and Ryan Blaney got up the racetrack, and Harvick was all over the back bumper. And you can see he gives the nudge to Ryan Blaney. He spins out, and that was pretty much tough luck for Ryan Blaney. And there was really nothing else Ryan Blaney could have done in that situation. So Ryan Blaney is going to make a pit stop. That beautiful Menards Ford Fusion, they're going to put 4 fresh tires. He will go a lap down. But you never know what can happen at Bristol. We've seen a lot of late race restarts and chaos. Ryan Blaney can easily come back and score a decent finish. Hopefully next weekend, Ryan Blaney can have a better result. And now we are going to restart. Lap 18 out of 20, Kyle Busch in command of this race, but Chase Elliott 3 wide. He's going to make it stick on that inside. And now Kyle Larson and Jimmy Johnson make contact. Jimmy Johnson might have a tire going down, and he's spinning. Jimmy Johnson, Daniel Suarez. We have the big one at Bristol. A ton of cars. Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, Paul Menard. A ton of drivers. Ty Dillon, William Byron got a piece. Jamie McMurray, Michael McDowell, the big one at Bristol. Is this Bristol Dega? Oh my goodness. We have to sort this one out. So Chase Elliott, an amazing move. And then Kyle Larson makes contact with Jimmy Johnson. He gets up into the wall. And then Jimmy Johnson gets a flat tire. He spins. And then Suarez and Menard. And then Kurt Busch, Ty Dillon. Everybody just starts colliding into this mess. It's the Bristol Big One, as this was some absolutely chaotic events. And this has some major, major playoff implications. And now you can see the safety workers as we are going to sort this all out. The Bristol Dega Big One, as Daniel Suarez, a lot of front end damage to his Stanley Tools Toyota Camry. Nowhere for him to go. And then we have Paul Menard. This is going to hurt him in the playoff cutoff race. And he is going to fall drastically down the standings. Michael McDowell, having a great day, gets cut short. And then Ty Dillon had nowhere to go. He did not brake for some reason, and he just didn't have any other place to avoid that crash. And now Jimmy Johnson going to repair the car. He is very fortunate he didn't get too much damage, and that could save his playoff hopes. And now Clint Boyer as well just got clipped at the last minute. They're going to put 4 fresh tires. He will go a lap down, but he says you've got to collect all the points as he wants to get some proper seeding when we start these playoffs, as he is likely in. And then we have Kurt Busch as well. I mean, he is also hoping for the same fate. This is going to put a wedge into getting those points. And now Alex Bowman as well. He got some good amount of damage. And now it could have been worse. He could be behind the wall like Paul Menard, but he certainly wanted to get a top 10 to gain those points. And then we have Jamie McMurray as well. He is essentially in a must-win situation at this point. He is going to have to go to Indianapolis and drive the race of his life if he wants to make the playoffs. And now we are going to restart lap 20 out of 21. And we have Kyle Busch as he's looking for a second win of the season in that patriotic M&M's Toyota. And then alongside, we have Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. Now, just remember the last time these three were racing for the win at Bristol. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, and Kyle Larson. It was last year as Chase Elliott had the lead. Denny Hamlin, however, gets in the back of Chase Elliott and collects Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch. Denny Hamlin later got the win and ultimately got a lot of backlash. And then we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. This is a prime situation. He has to win this race to make the playoffs. Kyle Busch gets another rowdy restart, and he's going to pull away, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. right behind. But Chase Elliott gets a great run. He's all over the quarter panel of Kyle Busch. Can he get the run into turn 3? Side by side, he gives him the bump. Chase Elliott takes the lead, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. slides into second. 1 lap to go. Both drivers looking for their first career wins. Stenhouse Jr. gives him the bump, and he clears him off of turn 2. Does Chase Elliott have another move? He's going to give him a bump. Stenhouse clips Chase Elliott hard into the wall. Now he gets into Kyle Busch. Photo finish to the line. I think he got him. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wins at Bristol, and Kyle Busch across the finish line puts it in reverse. what a finish here at Bristol. Are you kidding me? Let's go over this again. Chase Elliott, some good old short track racing. They used each other up. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he gives contact to Chase Elliott, but Chase Elliott not going to back down. Still looking for his first win. He gives him the bump, and Chase Elliott gets clipped. But there was nothing else he could have done in that situation. And then this sets up for an amazing finish between Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Larson, banging doors to the line, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wins this battle. And now Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for Fastenal and Roush Fenway Racing getting their first win. And the entire 17 team, he does his burnout. But the fans are not loving it. They are booing. This crowd is booing Ricky Stenhouse Jr. the second week in a row. A controversial finish as Chase Elliott hard on the wall. He is not very happy with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as well as Kyle Busch. So congrats anyways to the number 17 of Phase Type 12 for winning this one. This chaotic race. Some great short track racing at Bristol. And now we're going to look at your results. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wins this race and he shakes up the playoff picture. Kyle Larson finishes a crushing second. Kevin Harvick in third. Kyle Busch puts it in reverse, still finishes fourth. And then we have Eric Jones with a great top 5 finish. Then Eric Almirola, Ryan Newman, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon makes the most of the day with a 9th place finish. And Joey Logano rounds out the top 10 after starting 30th. Trevor Bayne with a great race in 11th. William Byron in 12th. Nice outing for him. And then we have AJ Allmendinger, Bubba Wallace, and you see, I told you Ryan Blaney would rally. He finishes 15th on the day. Casey Kane 16th. Matt DiBenedetto 17th. And then we have Greg Golding 18th. And then Denny Hamlin got collected by Chase Elliott, hit the wall. He finishes 19th. And Chase Elliott, what an outstanding day for him. It just sucks the circumstances went that way. He finishes 20th. But his win is coming soon. 21st is Jamie McMurray, and then Clint Boyer, Kurt Busch, Alex Bowman, and Jimmy Johnson all go a lap down after getting involved in that crash. And Jimmy Johnson, I know the finish does not reflect how he ran today, but he had an amazing day, nothing to hang their heads about. And then we have Daniel Suarez, Paul Menard, Ty Dillon, Michael McDowell, and David Reagan. And then Martin Truex Jr. and Chris Buescher round out the field. So now we're going to take a look at your point standings. As you can see, these are the actual points here. As Kyle Busch, he has now an 8-point lead on Kevin Harvick, and he can clinch the regular season championship next weekend with a great result. Kevin Harvick in second, Keselowski, and then we have Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones with a top 5 in points, and then we have Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Clint Boyer, Kurt Busch, and Kyle Larson. And now these positions are going to be very critical as the top 10 get some more playoff points, and we're going to see how that gets sorted out. Now we're going to take a look at positions 11 through 20 as Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, they might have a chance to crack that top 10 in points and get some more playoff points. But right now, it looks like, though, that might be far-fetched. But we'll have to see next weekend as Indianapolis is a 4-segmented race as we will have 3 stages, 3 halfway bonuses, so you can get a maximum 30 points. And as a result, only Clint Boyer has clinched a spot on points as he is above the cutoff. And then we have Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney just need good days. But then look, Eric Almirola, Jimmy Johnson, Austin Dillon, Paul Menard, and Alex Bowman. That's going to be a tough battle, and it's going to be very crucial to get points in this race. And with Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s win, it certainly didn't help that cause in pointing your way in. So as you know, the regular season finale for the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series next weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And now this was an absolutely fantastic race. This is one of the better Bristol races. We had the inside groove and the outside groove, and we had a classic battle between Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney. They were mixing it up at the front. They made this really exciting. It proved some of those fans that are kind of skeptical about the new Bristol. It proved them wrong. This was a fantastic race, but in the end, a controversial finish. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., first career win, as it's been a while since Roush Fenway Racing has got the win, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. delivers. He executed at the end. He counted. He did what he needed to do when it matters, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is a winner in the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series, and he is the 10th driver to clinch into the playoffs.